Go ahead and get started. Glad you all found the place, okay? If you had a little bit of a tough time, you are not alone. There's a lot of people who will call before they come and say, I'm like Ronald Cheney, but I don't know where to go. So you are not alone if it was tough finding this place. But good news is after today, you'll always know where to go. So thank you guys for coming and for being here. We are really excited for this seminar today. We're also really excited to get started with you guys with the wellness program. Obviously, you have seen the Wellness Wednesday emails that I've now been sending out since you signed up today. So before we get started with the seminar, do you guys have any questions right off the bat about the wellness program that we can address now, or about the Battle of the Bulge challenge coming up, or about the points? Marcia and I are going to be sending out an email today or tomorrow to give a little bit more clarity on that. But do you have any questions now that we can address?
Could you just go through it quick?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yep, absolutely. So
to kind of just start real quick, though, I know a lot of people do not have Excel, so don't panic. We looked into possibly getting it on the computers, and we opted to like to track whatever's easiest for you. So today's email, if you have Excel and can download it, great. If not, there's going to be a Word document. You can print it right off the email, and all you have to do is just pencil it in, give it to one of the wellness committee members, and we'll get it over to Sarah and we'll do the tracking. So don't let that scare you that you don't have Excel on.
This works is you get activity points for this, and the activity points are different than wellness points. So the activity points are just within the Battle of the Bulge challenge. So you have to get, I think it's 600 activity points within the challenge to then earn 100 wellness points, okay? So you get activity points. There's kind of three categories. I broke it down to make it simple to read. So there's a category on nutrition, there's a category on exercise, and there's a category on mental, emotional well-being. So you might get points for taking 10 minutes of me time today. You get points if you get 7 to 8 hours, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So things like that. They're simple things. It's very attainable. Don't think that 600 is so high, there's no way I can get that. You don't have to do every single thing every day to get the points. I think it's like a third or a half of the thing. So it's definitely attainable. So that's how that challenge is set up in a short little snippet. Like Marcia said, we'll send out another email today to give you a little bit more better of an idea on that. But do go ahead and email me to sign up for it. Okay? Sound good? All right. Any other questions off the bat? Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started with our seminar today. And if you do need to leave early, you totally can. I understand you have to get to your locations, but we'll plan on ending right at 8:55 so you have good time to get there. Sound good? Okay. So our seminar today is refresh your workout. Everybody knows January 1st, we talk about New Year's resolutions. It's on a lot of people's minds. So we're not here today to say, come on people, work out all day, every day. Sometimes people will tease Carly and I saying, oh, you guys must work out all day long, every day. We're like, yeah, we do push-ups at work, all the time, burpees. That's all we do. We don't actually work. We just work out for 8 hours straight. That's what we do. Only eat vegetables and whatever. That's definitely not it. So what this seminar today is more about is overcoming the barriers that we have to exercising. Carly and I have both worked with a lot of people one-on-one when it comes to exercise, but beyond that, Carly and I also have our own set of barriers and excuses that we have to overcome and come up with techniques of how we can get over those barriers to then help us exercise regularly and do it more often and to defeat those. So what we first want to go over are some barriers to exercise. So what are some things that keep us from exercising? So that's the first goal, is getting over it. I know what yours is going to be. No, sorry. Go ahead. Tell me what your barrier is.
Probably, some people's TV.
TV. Yes. Like you want to watch TV instead of exercising. You want to relax. Yes.
I know one.
Yeah, and Carly's going to write them up here too.
Injury.
Injury. Yes, absolutely. That's a tough one. Anytime you get injured, it's really hard. A lot of time, we were talking, I have to go through physical therapy, and then there's restrictions on it, and then sometimes it's just hard to know, what do you even do? What can I do? And that's the biggest one I find for a lot of people is don't even know what to do. You know, I'm sure we all have been there, or at least I know I have. I've gone to the gym and I've been like, okay, gonna work out today. I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go to the gym. So I go to the gym. I get there. I'm like, oh, I should fill up my water bottle. Yeah, need to fill up my water bottle. Probably should go to the bathroom. Go do that. Walk upstairs. Yeah, I need a towel now. Oh, I better get a good cubby. So I get my good cubby, and then I walk over to the treadmill. Maybe I go a couple minutes. Yeah, not feeling treadmill. Better go get some more water and walk around it. Oh, there's this cool sign that's hanging up. I want to read about that. You know, and all of a sudden you're there 45 minutes and you really haven't done anything, but, well, I've been here 45 minutes, so I can leave now, right? So sometimes just not knowing what to do or
I'm always
intimidated.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like everybody there is like physically fit. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm over here. I can barely walk on the
Right. Absolutely. That's a big one. I used to work at a gym for a little bit and I would see the weirdest things that happened, as you can imagine. But like I would see like guys like doing their bicep curls and they like winged themselves in the mirror and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I've also seen that like guys would ask a lot of girls out of the gym, so apparently if you're looking for a date, just go there. But that's a big one. Yeah. Not motivated. Yes. Just not feeling it. Like yeah. Physical limitations, yes. Yes, and kind of knowing what can you do with them. Absolutely. Time constraints. I would say that's probably the biggest one out there. Too tired. Too tired. Yep. What other ones do we have, guys?
You know, this time of the year, the gym's so busy, to be honest with you.
It is.
It's tough to get on equipment,
Yep.
push people around, get around certain things. It is like, it's busy.
It's really busy. Yes.
So, I mean, maybe you can't.
You don't have enough room to move around as you would normally. Yep. And with that, another barrier that we might have is like you say, well, I don't have a gym membership, so I can't work out. Right? My husband uses that one all the time. Like, whatever. We have stairs. Yes. Okay, so we're going to stop with these. These are some of the big ones. So what we're going to do now is kind of go through these, and not that I'm going to say, oh, hey, do this instead, and it's the golden rule, and that's going to work for you. But hopefully it'll give you some techniques to overcome them, and some of it we're going to go over today, things that you can do. But a lot of it, when it comes to exercise, a lot of it is a mind game. I was talking with somebody last week, and we were talking about running, and she runs half marathons all the time. She was saying how the biggest part for her of training for a half marathon is not the physical aspect of running 13.1 miles, it's the mental part. It's the part of telling herself, I can keep going, this is fine, I can do it, I can wake up, and I can go run. Because we almost always can push ourselves more physically, more than we can mentally. We might think, oh, I can't go any further. We normally can, but mentally we tell ourselves that we can't. And with a lot of these, it's a lot of just that mental game, that mental talk that we have. You know, your alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning of, I would do this, I sometimes still do this. My alarm will go off, I'm like, oh, I should work out in the morning, and it goes off. I'll just snooze a little bit. I'll snooze a little bit more. Then I tell myself, well, I woke up earlier, so I'm burning more calories because I'm thinking about exercising, right? That's how it works. I think that's definitely how it works. So a lot of it is a mental mind game. So we're going to go over some techniques to help us work through some of these barriers. So we'll start off at the top and we'll kind of jump around here. But watch TV and relaxing, you know, we might think, oh, I don't want to go work out. I had a really tough day and I want to go home and relax because it was long and it was stressful and I need some me time. And I totally get that. We do need that me time. Some things that could help us out with this one is, for some people, and I know myself included, exercising is relaxing for me. I know that if I have a really stressful day, if I don't work out before I go home, I'm going to be crabby all night long, 100%. But if I go work out and kind of release that tension and that stress, then I come home a completely different person. I know that's not true for everybody. I know that working out is not relaxing for everybody, but you might find that it is for you. Also, some people, what they do is they make their exercise time their TV time. So maybe there's this show that they really want to watch and their spouse doesn't like it. And so they have to watch it by themselves or, fill in the blanks for your scenario. They make it so that they can watch that TV show when they exercise. So whether that's at home, they turn it on, they do an at-home workout, or, they go to the gym, and if they're on, most cardio machines have a TV on there. So that's something that a lot of people have done that helps them because they want to watch their show, and if they make a mental deal with themselves that they can only watch a show if they exercise, then that'll help push you a little bit. Injury, moving on to the next one. This is, like we said, this is a tough one when if you're in therapy, physical therapy, going through that, figuring out what you can do. Good news is, once you're done with the physical therapist, they normally will either clear you for exercise or they'll tell you you can do everything except for these 3 things. And then if you work with Carly or I, we are both certified personal trainers, and so we know, to ask about, okay, have you had any shoulder surgeries? Have you had this? Have you had that? What limitations do you have? What did your physical therapist say? And then we have the background in that, so then we can help you work through that and give you an exercise program to work past that. So that's what's great is that injury is tough, and when it does happen, you have to work through it, and you're not going to get right back on the horse 2 weeks later. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. But don't think that just because you had an injury, it's completely out of the books for you. There are options out there. Not knowing what to do, we're going to touch on that one here in a little bit because we're going to go over some exercises that you can do. So we'll go over that one shortly. Not motivated. This is definitely a tough one. Totally a mental game, right? 100% a mental game, just not feeling it. I know for me, the times I'm not motivated, or this will get me, is if I feel like I'm not getting results, then I'm not motivated. If I feel like I've been going to the gym, religiously for the last month, I'm working hard, I've been trying to eat better, but I look the same, I weigh the same, I feel the same. All of a sudden, I'm not motivated, so I'm like, well, it's not doing anything, so why should I keep doing it? So what's great about that, though, and this is what I always have to remind myself is, well, if I'm not getting results, it's because there's something I'm doing that's not right. Maybe I think I'm exercising really hard, but maybe I'm really just walking around, getting water, getting my cubby, talking to somebody, reading a poster, right? Or maybe I think I'm eating healthfully, but I forget that, oh yeah, I eat 3 cupcakes after every meal that I eat. So, I had a healthy meal, but then I had 3 cupcakes afterward. So there's a reason. There's a reason why, or 4. They're mini though, right? So if they're mini, they're fine. There's a reason why. But not motivated is a completely mental game. There's a lot of different techniques out there. My brother just started one with he and his wife where if they each have their own specific goals, and for him it was if he worked out 20 minutes every day, he could put X money into their vacation fund. And then if he did it 6 days in a row, then he could put like a bonus into it. And so that's what they're doing, is they're putting money into their vacation fund to help keep them motivated. So that's good to have incentives along the way. Things we don't want to incentivize ourselves with, though, is if I work out 5 days this week, then I can eat a whole cake for myself. Because that just doesn't make any sense. But new workout clothes, that can be really, really motivating. Or treating yourself to, men, probably not you, but a pedicure or a manicure. Maybe though, I don't know. Maybe you guys like them. So think of things that you want, but maybe you don't normally spend money on. And you tell yourself, oh, I shouldn't do that. Let that be your motivation for getting on track. Physical limitations, that kind of goes with injuries, but there always are options. When Carly and I teach fitness classes, and it's a group exercise class, we have the complete end of the spectrum. And so we know modifications for everything. Every single exercise that's out there are modifications that we can do to make them available to you. So if that's something that you're struggling with, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we can meet with you, go over those one-on-one, and give you some options, put a workout plan together for you. So we're available for that. Not enough time. I know that's definitely a tough one that we all struggle with. We're all trying to do a million things all at once and get everything done. And it just kind of depends on where your priorities are at. So that's one thing, is figuring out where is exercise in my priority list. If it's at the bottom, then it's not going to get done. Because we all know when we have that to-do list, we're not going to get to the bottom of it, right? We're just going to get maybe halfway through it. So thinking about where your priorities are at, but also with not enough time, research has shown that even if you only exercise 10 minutes at a time, it's still beneficial. So a lot of times we think, well, if I want to go work out, it has to be an hour, right? For some reason we have that in our heads that an hour is the golden rule. That's how long you have to be in the gym. Or that's how long you have to dedicate to working out. But it really isn't. It can be 10 minutes. It can be 15 minutes. Some of the workouts and ideas we're going to give you guys today, there's this thing called Tabata, which takes 4 minutes. And I promise you, it's exhausting. When we do these in classes, they're like, no! Well, they kind of like it, but they kind of don't. It's like a love-hate relationship. But it takes 4 minutes to do it. 4 minutes is not a long time, right? We can carve out 4 minutes to do something. There's a lot of short little snippets of things that you can do just to put it in between commercials, or you do it quick right when you wake up before you shower, a quick 5 minutes. There's a lot of things that we can just cram in. So again, if you're like, yeah, I want some 5-minute things I can do, let us know and we'll work with you to get those. Too tired, again, these are all tough ones. One thing I will say about too tired is working out actually will help you out with that, because it's getting on this good cycle. So if you think about, if you exercise today, you are going to be more tired tonight, like physically tired. So that means you might end up falling asleep quicker than you normally do. You might sleep more sound than you normally do. You're going to wake up the next morning feeling more refreshed than you normally do. Then you do it again the next day. You work out again, so then you're more tired at the end of the day. You fall asleep quicker, you sleep better, you wake up more refreshed. See how this cycle can help you out when it comes to that? So that's something I definitely suggest. It's hard getting started with that. So when we get started, we don't want to say, okay, we're going to go 50 minutes to this, right? That's where it's funny. When it comes, we're creatures of habits. So when it comes to routine, it is. Because let's say you bring your lunch to work every day. If you did it every single day, it's going to be easier for you to remember to grab your lunch bag than if you do it this week, you do it on Tuesday and Friday, and then the next week you go home at Monday and Thursday, and then the next week you do Wednesday. It's harder a lot of times if we don't have that set schedule. That's not to say that for you it's more beneficial or you have to do that to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to exercise, more that it's just easier on us if we have a set schedule. And I know for me that if I know, okay, on Mondays I do this, on Tuesdays I do that, then I don't even have to think about it. It's just like clockwork. It's like, okay, I know this is what I'm doing, so I can't just aimlessly waste time with it. So from a habitual standpoint, it is beneficial, but from a physiological standpoint, anytime works. And we'll get the question a lot, I heard it's best to work out in the morning, so can I work out in the morning? And we'll say, if you are an early person, if you're an early bird and you like waking up in the morning, then absolutely do it. If you're not an early bird, don't even try, because you're going to be like me, snoozing your alarm clock, telling yourself that you burn more calories because you're awake, right? So you have to figure out what time works for you. My philosophy is the best time to work out and the best type of workout is the one that you'll actually do and stick with. So later we're going to go over some recommendations and goals of what we should aim for, but those are goals and recommendations. The number one thing is that you just get started and do something. Something is always better than nothing. Always. Okay? Gym too busy? Wait 2 weeks. That'd be good. And then no gym membership. This is going to tie back with know what to do. We're going to go over some things that you can do at home, either with minimal equipment or no equipment. And with not knowing what to do, we're going to give you some recommendations. We're going to give you some different exercises you can do. We're going to give you some template. We're going to give you so much. You're going to walk away like, all right, I'm ready to open a gym. So at this point, I'm going to pass it over to Carly, and I'll pass these out. We're going to be on this first page that says physical activity recommendations, the orange
All right, well, Sarah's passing that out. I just kind of wanted to briefly introduce myself a little bit, because I don't think I've met any of you yet. My name is Carly Schluter. I work with Sarah, with Zell. We both do wellness. She's going to be your main contact, but I'm also here to help. Like Sarah said, we're both certified personal trainers. We both have wellness backgrounds, so I'm definitely more than happy to help. If you have any questions, have any goals you want me to help you come up with ideas and ways to reach those. So that's just a little bit on me, and then I wanted to just kind of talk about this side right here, the physical activity recommendations. So for cardio, I know it says it on there for moderate intensity and high intensity of how frequently you should do this. So for moderate intensity, it's 150 minutes per week is the recommendation. I know that can sound like a lot of time, especially for people who are new to working out or haven't worked out in a long time. Now, like Sarah said, this is just a goal. So I'm not saying today you have to start with that 150 minutes. No, it's something to work up to. So if you're new to working out, maybe 30 minutes in a week time, doing that 10 minutes at a time, that's going to be better than, not doing anything at all and just working your way up. Also, high intensity. If you are short on time, you feel like you don't have enough time, you're too busy, high intensity is a good alternative because you only need half as many minutes. So it's 75 minutes for the whole week. So what's the difference between moderate intensity and high intensity? It is different for everyone. So for example, moderate intensity for me is going to be completely different than moderate intensity for Michael Phelps or my grandma. Like, it's going to be completely different for everyone. So the way you can tell the difference between moderate intensity and high intensity exercises for you, moderate intensity is you can carry on a conversation with someone while you're working out. So if you're going for a brisk walk and you can carry on a conversation with the person next to you, that would be considered moderate intensity, where you can talk, and I know people do this a lot, but you can't sing while you exercise. So that's a good way to kind of tell you can carry on that conversation. High intensity, you're taking those big breaths in between your words. You can't get out a full sentence in. So that's kind of the talk test is a great way to kind of gauge your intensity level there. So I know I said it's different for everyone, but what are some ideas that you guys have for a moderate intensity exercise? I know I said brisk walking. Any other ideas?
Going up and down stairs.
Yeah, great. Going up and down stairs. Maybe bike riding, going lap swimming or doing water aerobics, things like that. Some higher intensity exercises. I know for me, I'm not a runner, so going on a jog is pretty high intensity for me. I'm not good at it at all, no matter how hard I try. So that's high intensity for me. Maybe doing a boot camp class would be high intensity, or maybe even like a lap swimming would be high intensity for some people, especially if you've never really swam before. So it is really different from everyone, but that is just a couple ideas for you to look at. So next here we have muscle strengthening. So it's recommended that you strengthen all major muscle groups at least 2 times per week. So your back muscles, your quads, your hamstrings, your chest muscles, like all those are the ones you're going to want to work at least twice a week. And with saying that, you want to do them on 2 non-consecutive days. So let's say you want to work out your chest and back one day. If you want to go to the gym the next day, that's great, but just make sure you do maybe lower body or work on your core and give your upper body a little bit of a break. So it's fine to work out 2 days in a row, but just try not to do the exact same things 2 days in a row. And then stretching. How many people stretch before and after their workouts? Good, a few of you. Perfect. Everyone should be doing this before and after their workouts. So there's a couple different types of stretching. So for your warm-up, you want to do dynamic stretching. Who knows or can anyone give me an example of what a dynamic stretch is? Anyone? Well, okay, so dynamic stretching is you're doing nice quick movements, getting that heart rate up. So like walking in place, that would be some dynamic stretching, doing some hamstring curls, just really loosening up those muscles. Those are going to be some of those dynamic stretchings that you want to do during your warm-up. Now during your cool down, you want to do those static stretching. So those are the ones where you're actually holding There you go. You're actually holding that stretch, holding it there. And you want to hold those stretches for about 20 to 30 seconds before you switch sides. So you want to make sure you're stretching all those major muscle groups. So let's say you worked your legs at the gym or at home. So you want to make sure you really stretch out those quad muscles, those hamstrings, and give them a good stretch, 20 to 30 seconds for each muscle group. Any questions so far? All right, perfect. So frequency, like I mentioned before, you don't want to do the same exercise 2 days in a row. And if, let's say you want to do the moderate intensity and you think you can stick with that 150 minutes. So that's about 30 minutes, five days a week. So you can break that up as maybe Monday you want to do, just focus on strength and do full body strength exercises. And then Tuesday, maybe you'll do just all cardio. And then Wednesday, go back to that full body. So you can break it up, or you can do maybe upper body one day, lower body another day, and throw in some cardio on both those days. So you can kind of get a little bit of everything in. So it's really kind of up to you of how you want to break that up, whatever works best for you. And you always want to include rest days. I say at least include one rest day. If you're new to exercising, I would give maybe 2 to 3 rest days. You don't want to shock your body. So, you know, especially for me, if I haven't worked out in a while and I go to the gym, I'm really sore for the next couple days. So you really want to work yourself into that. Start out easy. Don't push yourself too hard right away, because I know if you're in a lot of pain afterwards, it's a little discouraging. You're like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to put myself in that much pain again. So just really work yourself into it and things like that. All right. Any questions about, I know I went over that kind of quickly. Anything to add on that one?
No, I think so. We're going to flip to the back side of here. So this gives you an idea of some of the billions of exercises that are out there. So this can help you with maybe you're at home or at the gym trying to figure out what can I do, what are some arm exercises. I can't think of any right now. So this can help you with that. And a lot of these are body weight, or they use very minimal equipment. One of the very cheap and awesome fitness equipments out there are exercise bands. So they're basically just like a huge rubber band. There's a lot of things you can do with them. So Marcia and Austin have decided to give everybody one of these exercise bands. So before we go over these, we're going to pass all of these out to you so you can be like, oh, what do I do with this thing? Okay, so what we're going to do then, when you get your fitness band, you're like, well, what do I even do with this thing? We're going to go over some of these exercises. So Carly and I will demo them. And we might con you guys into demoing some of them with us too. We'll see. So look at this list, think about your exercise band, and then shout out what exercises are you like, oh, what is a reverse fly? What does that even do? And then we'll go over them.
Sweet. Say that again.
Do you have any questions on what can I do with a fitness band, or what is this, you know, what's an upright row, or we're going to demo.
What's a bird dog?
Okay, guys. What do you want to see us demo? That's the better question.
Bird dog.
A bird dog. Okay, this one's going to be a little hard to see. But,
Make sure the brakes are on.
yeah. Okay. I promise Carly doesn't weigh very much. Okay, so the question was a bird dog. Okay? So Carly is going to be my demoer. Carly graciously always demos for me.
Normally you would do this on the floor.
Okay, so this is a great core and lower back exercise. And, you know, it's not high intensity, it's not high impact, so this is a really good one to do. So you're going to start on all fours, just like how Carly is, as you can all very easily see. So there are, like we said earlier, there are a lot of modifications for every single exercise. So we're just going to show some of them, some higher advanced ones and some more modified ones. So basically what she's going to do is she's going to extend one arm and the opposite foot out in the air. and hold there for a second. If she wants, she can bring it back together, touch her knee to her elbow underneath her, and then extend again. This is a little bit more advanced, right? It takes a little bit more stability and flexibility to reach underneath. Otherwise, she could just extend and hold, like so, or she could alternate back and forth. So she could do right and left, and then switch to left and right. So a lot of different options with here, but the point on these is not to go fast, but to go slow and to hold it. This is working our stability and on our core. Great job, Carly. Let's give her a round. Okay, what's next, guys? Yeah. Frog abs. Oh, I do not like these. Okay. Carly's gonna go back on the table. Okay, so the other thing I should say with exercises is it seems like for every single exercise out there, there's at least 5 names for it. So you might be asking what's a frog ab, and then we show you, and you're like, oh, I know what that is. I call it a, I don't know, a horse ab. So that's the other thing to be aware of. So for these, I normally put my hands underneath me. It kind of helps support your back a little bit, and it helps, especially for Carly, this is a hard surface, it'll help her spine not go, right into it and really hurt. So I normally put my hands underneath me. So again, there's modifications with this. So she's going to start with her feet extended in front of her, slightly above. Okay, so there's a little bit of room here. She's going to bring her knees in towards her chest. If we're going to do a modified, then she's just going to put her legs up, and then back down, and then out. So in, up, down, out. It's really fun if you talk as you go through it. Okay, if she wants to do a little bit more of an advanced one though, I'll let you go at your own pace. But she's going to, instead of just putting her legs straight up in the air, she's going to extend her rear up in the air too, okay? Like so. See, isn't she so good at this? Just so good. So with these, as you probably saw, when she put her feet up in the air, they're not going, it's easier, but you're not going to bring your feet like back towards you. You want them straight up. Okay, so they're going to be perpendicular. They're not going to be coming like so, okay? But there's, like we said, a lot of modifications. You also could just have your feet extended and then just bring them in towards your chest. Extend them back out, feet in towards the chest. So different options that we have on there. I won't make you guys demo that one too.
How many do you suggest you? Yeah, that's how many
Oh,
reps?
like for reps of that? Yes. So with that, again, that's going to vary. If you haven't done a lot of ab exercises, then those are a little bit harder of one because they work your lower abs, and normally that's where we don't have quite as strong of abs. So with those, like when you get started, you might just be doing like 5 or 10 of them because they're a little bit more difficult. If you're going to be talking to somebody who does these all the time, maybe they'll do like 25 or 30 of them. So what I suggest is when you first get started, don't even set a number on it the first time when you're doing these ab exercises. Just go by how you feel. When you start doing it and you start to feel like, okay, I don't think I can really do much more, then just make a note of how many you do. So if you did 12, then just make a note, okay, I did 12 on Wednesday. And then if you do them again, let's say on Saturday, then tell yourself, okay, I'm going to aim for at least 12, maybe 13 or 14. And then I just always make a note of how many you do. And then work on your own spectrum with that. All right, next one. Yeah.
What's the pec and reverse for?
Pec and reverse fly. Okay, so for these, first we'll show you with free weights in case you have some of these. Then I'll also show you how you can use them with bands. So if you're going to do a pec fly, you're going to be laying on your back. So, good job guys, choosing these. So, pec fly, obviously it's going to work your pecs here. So, maybe this is also something that we'll do for people if they can't do push-ups, if maybe they had some type of shoulder or something where they can't do push-ups. Push-ups also work your chest and pecs, so then maybe we'll do this one instead. So, she's going to start up, straight up top, she's going to have a slight bend in the elbow, so she's not completely extended, slight bend. She's going to keep that bend in her elbow the whole time as she lowers out to the side, and then brings it back up together. Lowers out to the side, and bring back up together. Okay, so as you can imagine, you feel it right there. Okay, if you want to work your pecs with the band, I call it open season, but I think you call it something.
Just call it chest fly.
Okay, you just call it a chest fly. So if you do it with the bands, so what's nice about the bands is you can, so these are a lighter resistance, or I think that these are medium resistance, the ones you guys have. You can buy lighter resistance, medium, heavy, extra heavy, but also when you have your band, you can kind of change the resistance yourself. So for example, on this one, if you're going to do a chest fly, if you want a little bit of a higher resistance, you're going to grab the band a little bit closer together. You're going to have more resistance. So for this, she's going to just open out and then bring back together. As you can imagine, same motion as what we did just with this. If she's like, oh, that's a little too high resistance, then she just grabs the band further apart. And then she has less resistance as she goes back out. So that's what's nice about your bands is you can really adapt them to your fitness level. So everybody is going to try one of these chest flies. Just don't bonk your neighbor in the face, please. So you're going to start with this straight out in front of you. Okay. So as we get started, you can have lower resistance, and then just bring it out to your side. It's all look good. You're getting it now. See, I told you, you guys all want to open up a gym now, right? Good. Nice job, everybody. Good work. I feel like we should clap for you now. Great job. Okay, if you want to do a lat fly, because I think you asked about that one too. A reverse fly?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to do these with the free weights, okay, so we're going to teach you a position of how you should stand when you do these, because there's a number of exercises you do it this way. So, you're going to start with your feet about shoulder width apart, okay? First, you're going to put a slight bend in your knees, just to have them soft. You don't want them locked. Just a nice slight bend. You don't have to like be down in squat position, all right? We're just making it nice, soft, okay? So then you're going to hinge at the hips and keep your core straight and in line here as you bend over. So as you can see, she's nice and straight here. She doesn't have her shoulders down forward. She doesn't have them way back. She's not arching her back. She has a nice straight line, okay? So same thing in the arms as with the pec fly, nice slight bend in the elbows, and she's going to bring it out to the side and then back down. So it's the same motion as the pec fly, but because our body is flipped and gravity is working the other way, so we're using our lats to bring these back up.
Yeah, and also on this one, I see a lot of people, they're just slightly bent over doing it and doing this. Well, instead of working your back like it's supposed to, it's really working your shoulders instead. So really make sure you have that nice bend over, so you're working those back muscles instead.
And if you wanted to do these with a band, same type of motion, you would step on the bottom. Okay, so now you have the resistance here. So you can still go like this. You have to make sure you have a long enough band to do it like so. Okay, let's say you're doing this and you're like, this band is not long enough, I can't do this. Couple options, you can go down to your knees and do it that way, because there's less resistance, or what you can do, give yourself a little bit more over here and do one arm at a time, and do it like so, okay? So while we're standing on here, we're gonna show you a bicep curl with these, okay? We're gonna have you guys demo these too. Here, I'll show this.
Oh.
Okay, so if you do a bicep curl, everybody up. So your bands, let's just do one arm at a time, okay? So you're gonna step on your band maybe 3/4, 2/3, or 3/4 of the way. You're just gonna have one arm with the band, okay? You're just gonna bicep curl it up, okay? So you're gonna keep that upper arm right in next to the body. So it's not winging out to the side, it's not behind us, it's not in front of us. This is sucked in right here, okay, as we bicep curl up. If your band is long enough, you can certainly do both at the time, both at the same time. Yep, just like that. Yep, that's perfect. So if you, when you're doing curls, if your fist is up, they're actually called hammer curls. And if your fingers are up, then that's a bicep curl. Just works a different part of your biceps. So you could hold it like this and do bicep curls, or turn it and do hammer curls. You guys got it? You guys look good. Great job. You're getting it. Okay, we're gonna go over 2 others, and then we have some more stuff to pass out. So good.
Glue extensions?
Glute extensions back on the table, Carly. Okay, I love doing glute extensions. So you're going to be here in all fours again. Again, she has a nice tabletop, nice flat line. She's not arching her back like so. She's not putting it up. Okay, so she has a nice flat back. Okay, so when she does a glute extension, she's going to extend her glutes. Wow, it's crazy. Okay, so if she does her right one, she's just going to extend it back and then back down. Well, we'll show all the options.
Okay.
Okay, so if we're going to do a more modified version, she's just going to extend it back and then back in. Squeezing that glute when she's out, okay? Another option, she's going to bring her leg up in the air. This is a little bit more advanced, like so. So she is keeping her glute engaged throughout more of this and is extending her glute a little bit more. As you can imagine, you can feel it there on your glutes. I won't make Carly do this one, but there's also I'm trying to think the best way to call it. I've always just heard it like fire hydrant. That's normally what we just call it.
I call it peeing on the tree.
Yeah, there's that one too, peeing on the tree. So as you can imagine that you're on all fours and you bring your leg out to the side. And you can really feel that one right there. So easy ones you can do during commercial breaks, right? You could say, okay, for the first commercial, I'm going to do the right side. The second commercial, I'm going to do the left side. Easy things you can do while you're watching TV. Great. Okay, next one. Let's do another band one. Let's do a tricep. Okay, we'll do the triceps with your bands, okay? So there's a couple different things you can do with your triceps with the band. The first one we'll do is an overhead tricep extension, okay? So with this one, the hardest part about it is getting into position. So you're gonna have the band behind your head. So one of your arms is up and one of them is below, so you're like so, okay? So on Carly, she's gonna keep this arm, she's not moving this arm, she's only gonna move this one. Her elbow is tucked in, so she's not winging it out to the side, it's right in by her ear. She's just going to bring her hand up towards the ceiling and back down. Up towards the ceiling and back down. All right, everybody, you guys want to try it? You can do it in your seat or you can stand up. Either way is totally fine. But try doing 3 on each side and we'll come around, making sure you guys all look good. So one hand is up here, so they're coming around opposite. The one that is above goes up. Keep that elbow in, so I don't want to see any elbows out here. Nice, tucked into the ear.
And same thing here, you can loosen the band a little bit to
Yep.
make it a little bit easier if you want, and you can also tighten it to make it harder. So, it's up to you on that one.
Things look good. Great work, everybody. That lime green looks good on you. You guys are going to feel that one tomorrow? So see, since these are your company colors, I would say that Marsha would agree that you can have these at your desk at work. And you can do that. You'll be talking to your patients. Yeah, like why are they green? Okay, so that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of things you can do. But we've been saying, if you're interested in more of these ideas, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or Carly, or I'll pass it along to Carly, and we'll put together literally anything that you guys want. So do not hesitate to reach out to us, okay? So with that in mind, we're now going to pass out 2 different things, okay? So part of what we talked about is not knowing what to do and no gym membership. So what we're going to pass out is 2 things. One of these are templates, okay? So this right here is a little packet, a 3-pack of a template of exercises that you can put together for yourself, okay? So these ones are blank. In this pack, it's the same thing, but they're filled out. So you have an idea of things you can do. So these are like ready-made, okay? So we're going to pass both of these out. I'll just follow you. We're going to pass both of these out to you all. Okay, so they look pretty much identical. But on the template one, so this is the one where it's not filled out, on the front it says time Tabata, okay? So like we talked about earlier, Tabata is 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute session. How it works though is you do 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest, okay? So typically you're gonna do one exercise for that time. So, for example, on the one that we created for you, we have lunge pulses. So what that would mean is you would get into lunge position. You're going to do pulses on one leg for 20 seconds. So you have your timer going. After 20 seconds, then you pause. Give yourself a rest for 10 seconds, then you go to the other leg. 20 seconds of lunge pulses. After 20 seconds, you pause. Okay, so that's been 2 rounds. So you do 8 rounds of it in just 4 minutes. Okay? So that's how Tabata works. So for the one that we created for you, we gave you a leg exercise, an arm exercise, a cardio, and a core. So you do the same thing, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. So if you want a shorter workout, if you go through this for a 12-16, give yourself a minute rest in between there, this will take you 20 minutes. So that's really short, right? Not an hour at all. If you want it to be longer, then you can add more of them, or you can run through it a couple of times. But if you want something short,
And this is something you can do every day, do you suggest?
you wouldn't want to do the same exercises every day, but you could do a Tabata workout every day. Yeah, that would be totally fine. Yeah. And Tabata, the nice thing about Tabata is that you're doing it for 20 seconds. It's supposed to be your all-out effort during those 20 seconds because it's only 20 seconds. So it's higher intensity. So then that counts towards your high intensity minutes, which you only need half of as many as your moderate intensity. So you get more bang for your buck for that. Okay? So we're going to go through these quickly, but then you can say afterward if you have questions or send us emails too, okay? This next page, we have the ladder workout. So you can see why it's called a ladder, because the reps go up by 5 every single time. And then they go back down. So for the one that we created for you, you can see that we, for the lower rep ones, you want to do easier exercises, right? You don't want, if you're going up to 35, you don't want 35 to be your burpees, right? You want to do as few of those as possible. So when you're putting these together on the template one, think about, okay, what is something that I could do 35 of? Okay, I could do 35 jumping jacks. All right, I'll put that in there for the 35. So you want to be mindful about that. So this one that we created for you, you'll see that we have step-ups for 10, 15 tricep dips. So things that are a little bit harder, we put on the lower rep one. So this one is nice. You just run right through it. So you just start with your 10 and then do your 15, then your 20, 25, and work your way through it, okay? So these are ones that you can do at home, right? Yeah, we can go through these quick. So step-ups, so for these, you can use a stair at your home, and it's literally you're going to step up and then back down, step up and then back down. You can do this however you want to do it. You can run it, quick step-ups, run up, run down, run up, run down, right? You can do it like that. If you want something more higher intensity, you can do box jumps where you're jumping up onto that first step and then back down. Or you can just do the step-up. Just step up and step down. Step up and step down, right? Tricep dips. These are a tricep exercise, so you're still going to be right at that step. So if you're going to do a tricep dip, probably just use the table here. Have your weight on here. You're going to use your triceps to lower you and to raise you back up. To lower you, to raise you back up. These are nice because the closer in your feet are, the easier it is. If you want it harder, put your legs out further. So you can modify these ones also. Burpees. Does everybody know what a burpee is? So for burpees, again, there's lots and lots and lots of modifications for them. But if we would do a burpee, on the little bit more modified side, you'd go down, put your feet out. You can step them out like Carly did, or you can jump them out. Then bring them back in, and then put the hands up in the air. Okay, there's a nice modified version. If you want to do a little bit of a higher intensity one, you'll go down, jump the feet out, jump the feet in, and and then jump up. So a little higher intensity, a little higher impact. But if you're like, no, I have bad knees, I can't do that, totally fine. Just step them out, put the hands up in the air. So lots of options with those. Curls, those are just bicep curls, like what we showed you with the exercise bands. Everybody has their exercise band. Mountain climbers. For these, you're going to be in plank position. You're going to bring a knee in towards the chest and then put it back out. So you're just going to alternate your knees. You can do them fast and kind of run them, or you can just do them slow, or you can do them on the wall. So you'll still be in plank position on the wall and bring a knee up towards the chest. So if you're like, I really don't want to get down on the ground, totally fine. You can do them on the wall. Weighted squats. So for those, you can do body weight or you can add free weights. But a squat, you're going to have feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to sit back into the squat and extend back up. You're going to keep your weight on your heels as you do these. And you don't want your knees to go past your toes. Jumping jacks, everybody knows what those are from first grade PE, third grade PE. Deadlift, so this is a good hamstring exercise. You'll want some weight for these. So you're going to have a slight bend in your knees, and you're going to have your weights in front of you. You're going to stick your rear out a little bit as you extend down. Slowly use your hamstrings to bring you back up. So this is really focused on your hamstrings. Okay?